All right.
When will you be meeting the king? Have you sent a letter to the king?
Kita telah menulis memaklumkan tentang langkah-langkah yang kita buat, termasuk memohon pertemuan dengan Perdana Menteri dan juga memaklumkan bahawa kita telah minta diadakan sesi khas parlimen. We have written on two issues. One, to inform that as responsible citizens, we would want the issue of transfer to be discussed with the Prime Minister, and which has been denied. The Prime Minister has rejected that. And the second issue is to suggest an emergency session of Parliament yesterday, and clearly there was no official response except a statement from the Prime Minister that he does not intend to proceed with the emergency session. The issue of the audience with the King has not risen because we still want the process to be done to exhaust all available avenues, including a possibility of a meeting with the Prime Minister. This is the first country, democratic country in the world, where under the present arrangement, the Prime Minister even refused to meet with the opposition leaders.
Mr. Anwar, are you in negotiations with the Prime Minister through a third person?
No, not that I'm aware of.
So why did your party member actually...
He may have some privy to some other information, but as far as I'm concerned, what the Prime Minister said was right. Very rarely do I agree with Mr. Abdullah Badawi.
Jika Badawi tidak mau bertemu dan sidang darurat juga dibatalkan, apa yang akan dilakukan?
Itu yang menjadi perkiraan kita. Dan inilah satu negara yang dikatakan demokratik, yang enggan, di mana Perdana Menteri enggan bertemu dengan pemimpin pembangkang atau oposisi. Jadi kita masih mengemukakan tuntutan supaya Perdana Menteri menghormati hak rakyat yang memilih kami.
Akan berjumpa raja dalam waktu dekat?
Itu masih kita perkirakan, tetapi biarlah proses perundangan dan yang lain itu dilaksanakan dulu.
Mr. C, what's your next step?
Well, this was done last week.
Mr. C, what's your next step now?
Next step, tenggo ke? Kita masih sekarang ni dalam tahap menuntut supaya ada pertemuan. Sudah kena ingat, ini suatu proses besar, peralihan kuasa. Dan bagi UMNO dan BN ini suatu hal yang amat menakutkan mereka. Jadi saya fikir wajar kita mengenengahkan kenyataan kekuatan kita dan memberikan rencana bahawa urusan kita ialah urusan mentadbir dengan adil dan bukan untuk balas dendam atau ganas atau guna ISA, kerana pendirian kita ialah membatalkan Akta Keselamatan Dalam Negeri sebaik kita memerintah. I'm saying that yesterday I had two sessions, firstly with the Menteri Besar Nik Abdul Aziz and past President Abdul Hadi Awang in Kota Baru, and later last night with DAP Secretary General Lim Guan Eng and Teresa Kok in my house in Segambut. The deliberations relate to the issue of the process of forming an alternative government, the state we are in, and we have reached or essentially reaffirmed our earlier stance and decision. There is no question as to the rumors being circulated by UMNO inciting fear among the Malays and Muslims, suggesting that this new government is going to be Chinese dominated or non-Malay dominated. May I stress this point? In Penang, it has been all along Chinese dominated by sheer population strength. But I have great confidence in the Chief Minister's ability to dispense with justice and development that is fair to all. So the issue does not arise. But I want to reassure, particularly the Malay community, that there is no basis in these dirty machinations of UMNO, and that we will remain steadfast in our position, respecting the constitutional provisions, including the issue of language, the Malay language and other languages, Islam as the religion federation, and respecting the rights of non-Muslims, and even the issue of special Malay rights and Bumiputra privileges, while not denying the rights of non-Malays. These are issues that have been resolved, duly signed by all parties. As I have said, there are two issues that I will not divulge to protect the MPs, whatever the UMNO campaign and Utusan Malaysia choose to say. Number one, I am not prepared to divulge the names of the MPs. You know what it takes in this country when the government feels threatened and would take action against prospective MPs crossing over. Number two, I will not divulge the number, because that to us is very, very critical in our strategy the moment we move.
How about the date, Dato'?
Deadline right now. What is the new date?
Yeah.
Now, it's not an issue of deadline now. The deadline was 16th. 16th was the date when we were ready. And we have made very clear. Who could anticipate that the Prime Minister refused to discuss a measure of such a national importance? Who would anticipate that the Prime Minister would refuse even calling an emergency session when we claim that we have the majority? In any democratic institution or country, a Prime Minister would immediately respond to a need to call for a vote of confidence or vote of non-confidence. In this country, it did not happen because there's blatant disregard for democratic values and democratic principles. Jadi soalannya sama ada kita akan teruskan dengan undi tidak percaya dalam sesi akan datang. Itu kita kena fikirkan kerana Perdana Menteri tak kala menolak usul kita, tidak menyebut beliau akan bersetuju dengan usul ini. Maknanya usul itu tergantung. Jadi oleh demikian kita harus fikirkan apakah usul ini akan diterima atau tidak. I mean, the question relates to the possibility of our tabling a motion of non-confidence. Our problem in the Pakatan is when we wrote to the Prime Minister proposing this, the Prime Minister rejected without giving an undertaking that a motion will be tabled or will be allowed to be tabled. Our problem is in the set procedures of these unique bases of Malaysian democracy. There is no guarantee that the motion will be accepted. So these are options that we'll have to look at. I appeal to Malaysian citizens, particularly those who want to see a change, to understand this and be a bit more patient, because we do not want to transgress the rules and constitutional principles and procedures, and that it will take a lot of patience, a lot of resolve to try and unravel this complex web controlled by the few cronies.
They're calling you a liar. What do you say about that?
Well, they have called me a lot of things before. The point is, if they really believe that I'm a liar, then put it to test in the proper constitutional and legal framework. Put it to test, have a vote taken in the parliament. That's the way you can test. There's no point in using your media here, the local media, to demonize me. They have done that for the last 10 years.
So you said you written to the king last week. What was the content that you written?
No, the letter to the king.
Written but not handed over yet.
No, written. That was on the just stating the measures we have taken. One, writing to the Prime Minister seeking an appointment to discuss this peaceful, orderly transfer of power. Number two, demanding a special session of Parliament according to certain Rule 11.3, etc., which we have actually circulated to the public. Okay, terima kasih banyak. Thank you very much.
So you still very excited of 31?
We have the majority.
Yeah, the majority.
Thank you.